Hey there, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is your reading for the week of April 18th through 24th, 2022. I'll be doing a reading specific to your zodiac sign. And if you want to jump to that right now, the timestamp is in the description box below. But I thought we would start out with a little pick a card flavor enhancement for your reading. So we have 4 separate piles here. You can pick one or more of the piles that you're drawn to. If you are more pulled in by gemstones, I have each of the groups associated with a gemstone. So here in group 1, we have amazonite. This is a stone that enhances truthful communication with clarity and confidence. It also heals any communication patterns, and it absorbs and transmutes any negative energies from computers and phones. This is something that I should have had when I worked at a call center. Here we have in group 2, ruby Fuchsite. This is a stone that heals past traumas of the heart. It also encourages strength and courage and psychic awareness. In group number 3, we have Pyrite. This is a psychic protection stone. It also allows for enhancement of memory and stimulates the intellect. It also overall promotes ideal health and emotional well-being. In group number 4, we have Bloodstone. This is a stone that supports rejuvenation, increases energy and endurance, and also is good for protection, grounding, and stability. This is the reading for group number 1 and those who picked amazonite. You have Palace of Wands, trickery, play, and strength. So it seems for those that picked group number 1, you're going to be spending a lot of your week dealing with your desires, passions, your drive for what it is you are drawn to. For some of you, you're really going to be focusing on a need to step up and be more courageous. Also, just have more endurance, particularly when it comes to things that you think are too easy. For others of you, you'll be able to spend a lot of your energy on things that are fun for a change. Things where you are actually, you don't really have to question whether or not you want to do something. It is just one of those things like, oh, you want to play Uno? Yes, I'm all about that. Basically, it will kind of stir the child in you, and you will just jump on those things. For others of you, I think you're going to be dealing with trying to figure out if your attraction to something is true. One of those things where, for example, you see someone on a dating app, you just keep looking at their pictures and wonder, is this a recent picture? Is this someone who is like, Photoshop their pictures? And really, you're gonna have to, at least for this week, just kind of keep that going, keep that interest going. We'll see if your particular reading for the zodiac sign reveals anything more. But here, you'll be really pulled in by, certain drives. So be aware of that. And also when it comes to having to overcome certain, challenges or a sense of decisions, really you're going to make your decision on one of those instinctive, like, nah, it doesn't smell right type of thing. So that's what I have for group number 1. This is the reading for those in group number 2. You pick the pile with ruby Fuchsite. You have this card of finding, create magic, duty, and Palace of Cups. So for this week, group number 2, you're going to be spending a lot of your time immersed in your emotions and fantasies, creativity, imagination. For some of you, there will be, for some of you that feel that you are needing to do something because of responsibility, whether it's a job or a relationship, you're going to be able to kind of tap into a sense of creativity and imagination where it takes you out of the ordinary, out of what it is you've been doing recently, out of a routine almost. And kind of with this card of finding, I'm really kind of drawn to this idea of something beyond. So let's say you've been, dating someone and you see them, but then you kind of recognize a new aspect about them. It could be a physical aspect, it could be something about their mannerisms or the way that they smile or a certain way they react to your jokes that really kind of brings more of a spark to your relationship. And it can be even, a platonic thing, maybe hanging out with a friend, and there's like a way that you look at each other and you know exactly what the other is feeling and thinking. So I think you're going to be really impressed by how something that you're going to do out of, obligation, you're going to look at it and see or feel even something a little bit that you hadn't noticed before that really makes you want to, well, first of all, will make you enjoy the time. This could even be, for some of you, going to church with your family. Something where a pretty mundane, nothing special about the event really kind of pulls at the heartstring or creates a sense of awe and wonder that you had not really associated with this particular task, person, location, event. So that's what I have for you, group number 2. This is the reading for group number 3, who picked the stack and associated pyrite. So we have you in the Palace of Coins this week. Basically, that's where we live our everyday lives, really focusing on the daily tasks of things and the physical aspects of the day-to-day life. Here you also have this constrained card. You have take flight, and you have this financial health card, which would appropriately be a tree you would see in the Palace of Coin Garden here. So it seems for some of you this week, you'll feel that your finances, you've had to save a lot, budget a lot, but recognize that this is part of a grander scheme where you are not instantly, but in the long run, you are going to see that this way of living, your day-to-day budgeting, being frugal in your meal plans, in your self-care routine, finding ways of just, I'm not going to say cheap, but being efficient and not being wasteful. Definitely that is paving the way for you to see a lot of growth in your finances. It might not appear like that right now. You might be feeling that you wish you could spend more money, but just recognize that this plan that you have in place, this way of kind of being very intentional about how you're spending your finances, how you are, maybe even putting together a physical budget and a routine of when you go to the store, when you go out to eat, maybe even have it where it's like once a week, but very much structured setup of your day-to-day, your week-to-week, your month-to-month is really setting your financial goals in place. And this particular week, you might be feeling it a little bit more, feeling the restriction a little bit more, but just know that you are where you need to be and going in the direction you want to go. This is the reading for group number 4 and the associated Bloodstone. We have here you being primarily in the Palace of Swords during the week. You have this Power card, Twin Flames, and Healing. Okay, so what I'm kind of sensing here is you are going to really benefit the most in terms of being reasonable and objective. You will be, there's no need to really kind of try to overexert yourself or try to argue too much. If you are someone that is getting the facts, You are clearly communicating your wants, your needs, the reasons for your position. Then basically that will be the best way to overcome whatever obstacle you're facing. When it comes to jobs, relationships, whatever the situation pops up, being objective and clear in the reason, analysis, and thought and communication is going to be key. You're also going to be dealing with aspects of healing in the sense of relationships that may not have worked out the way you were hoping. And I'm drawn to this Twin Flames card and the candle in the healing card here. So for those, you'll be at the point where the emotion of it is kind of waning, or your draw to the emotional healing aspect is kind of releasing and letting go, and you are able to now think about what occurred a little bit more clearly, so that you can kind of recognize where things went wrong before. The things that you wish you would have said, the things that you wish were discussed or communicated, the things you learned from that experience. Even though it didn't work out the way you thought it would work, you will carry from that experience lessons that you will put in place to really protect you going forward, and in a way that's healthy, not like barriers where you're numbing yourself or cutting off any feelings so you're prevented from pain in that way. But really, again, being in this Palace of Swords and looking at the experience with a sense of wanting to pick out the aspects, the cues, the markers that you could see there was a pattern, and it helps you to kind of recognize more about how you are, maybe how you communicate, maybe picking up on your own cues of your own red flags when you maybe ignored them, or when you started, talking to other people in a different way that was really, in hindsight, it should have been clear to you that things weren't the way you thought they were, and just incorporating that going forward. So for this week, I do see that you're really going to be able to kind of dissect your past relationships, your past, and that can be work. It can be platonic relationships. I'm primarily seeing more romantic relationships, but in any type of relationship, you can go ahead and feel confident that you're ready to dissect the relationship and take a part of it that really will help you going forward, and be more confident in who you are and what you are willing to accept for yourself, and what you're not willing to accept, and kind of stick to your guns. Fine tune your standards a bit. So that's what I have for group number 4. Hey there, Aries. This is your personalized part of the reading. You have cleansing, boundaries, and blooming. So what I'm getting is a sense that you've been really trying to clean up your messes, in a sense. What I mean by that is things that you've been trying to improve upon but have kind of slipped back into old habits and routines. For example, for those who are going on a diet, perhaps you've been kind of intending to get back on it, or you had a cheat day that maybe you cheated a little bit too much on, or for some of you that are trying not to check out the social media page of the person you're interested in, and kind of slipped and maybe looked at it once, twice, 12 times when you said you weren't going to look at it at all. Those types of things. Really, you're going to, I see, working on a sense of more structure when it comes to being on top of the goals that you're trying to accomplish. And that once you start really accepting the pattern of things, you're going to really start resonating with them. I would say look at what you would do naturally without certain limitations or without certain restrictions, and work with your natural cycle of things. Like, for example, if you're trying to eat healthy on certain days, pick the days like following a day where you know you're not going to be able to stick to it. Like, if you know you're going to go out and have drinks with your friends on Fridays and Saturdays, and you're going to feel gross on Sundays, have that Sunday be the healthy day, where like basically natural cycles of things are going to fit in with your structure. If it has to do with kind of like relationships, or kind of setting some restrictions in that sense, do something that's kind of like realistic. If you know every morning you can't get out of bed without looking through all your social media posts, then have that be the one time of the day you allow yourself to indulge and look at, somebody's profile, or along those lines of things. Okay, so when it comes to overthinking things, that's the best way to approach certain restrictions, so that you're not stressing. You have the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Hanging Man here. So in a sense, this feeling of restriction, this feeling of not being able to kind of move one way or the other, and kind of feeling slight, resentment for that, and kind of thinking about, oh no, I was wanting to do this and I didn't do this, and really kind of almost creating this anxiety for yourself. Having the kind of patterns and structures, the boundaries that I was talking about, will allow you to kind of like let go of those types of thoughts, and allow more just letting things happen, because you have used the natural cycles that you're going through as markers for when you would be providing certain restrictions for yourself. And when you start doing the things that you kind of set yourself up for goals, and it starts being more of your routine, you'll see that it'll start spreading into like things that you'd want to do. Like for example, if you are doing healthy foods, or healthy maybe calorie restriction, or if you need to go to the gym certain days, you'll start just feeling good about what you are accomplishing. It'll start feeling less like you're restricted, and you'll start wanting to make that change because it just feels right. So where on your Sundays, where that was your like getting over the drinking and feeling like blah and gross day, it'll start turning into your this is my healthy day, and being excited about it, and even kind of being like, I like that healthy day. I think I'm going to start that healthy day on Thursday, or even on Saturday, or extend it till Tuesday from Sunday. It'll start you'll start seeing things differently. You have the Empress card here. So this kind of will allow you to start being more in touch with your body and the sensations of your body and what feels good. And it doesn't have to just be about the things that you're eating or drinking or putting into your body. It's also about maybe even like sleep patterns. Maybe you you swore that once there was the daylight savings or the time change, you would start going to bed at a decent time. So if you start really structuring things in a way where, let's say you're going to go and do workout routines on certain days, and that's going to get you really, it drains you. So you set up your workout routines to be at a time where you would really want to take a nap and just go to sleep. So just really doing things that resonate with your own cycle of your needs of your body, it will allow you to be more in touch with your body and your sensations. I'm not taking all those cards, but I will take the ones that came here. Okay. So you have the Knight of Cups, and you also have the Sun here. So I mentioned the going out and drinking, but for some of you, that's not something that you really need to give up per se. But you will find that once you get more in tune with your body, then sensations, and listening to what your body wants, you might be looking for something to really fulfill you in a different way, and really kind of bring to light certain other kind of habits that you had as fillers. What I mean by that is, like, perhaps you went out with your friends and drank on Fridays and Saturdays because you really had no, plans, because you didn't want to try dating again. But when you start putting together those structures, those routines that match with the natural cycles of your body, and you start being more in touch with your body, feeling more healthy, feeling stronger, you're going to be in a place where you're going to try again, where you think you might put yourself out there and set up a date or two, and you'll see that maybe going out for drinks with your friends, even though spending time with your friends is something you're going to want to continue doing, it will need to change structures in the sense of I won't be able to go out at night, but I'll go and I'll meet you for brunch on Saturday and keep my date in the evening, and basically it will kind of almost naturally cut down on the things that you were using as fillers. So maybe less drinking, less indulging in eating things that aren't really good for you. And these are just examples of things, but I am kind of picking on that the strongest in terms of feeling that you have really not felt good for a bit, and that this kind of structure and pattern, even though it feels restricting, there's no need to kind of to stress over it. You can adjust it the way you need to adjust it, and you'll start kind of feeling more alive and working it in this way, working the pattern in this way. And you have the Ace of Cups here. This will really kind of allow you to feel like you have enough in your cup where you can apply it to anything else that you want in your life. If this has to do with, drinking or relationships, the way that you can restructure your attention and focus back onto your own body and your own feeling of being strong and nurtured, it really will kind of make you glow from the inside out and want to really be involved emotionally with, kind of excited about where you can put this new feelings. It's not, interesting that there's not any wands, the suit of wands cards that show up here, but basically it's really about how you think about yourself, what you need to feel alive and nourished, and that has to do with, connections with yourself and connections with others. And then you have here this guardian angel. You are not alone. So if you need to kind of get ideas on structuring your routine or certain plans where it feels less restrictive, you can definitely, your friends will help you. You can go online, you can find ways to stick to whatever goal that you want. You also have this Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. And you have this protection guardian, drop your shields. So for these here, it's a sense of really recognizing what it is you want to achieve. And it might sound kind of, counterintuitive to create a routine based on something you're doing naturally, because if you're doing something naturally, why do you need to put a routine together to kind of force yourself to do it? But really, it's a sense of you knowing how you will think of yourself, or how you will kind of play certain mind games with yourself if you kind of see it as a failure in achieving some goal. So that's the best way to kind of go forward with it. And then you have this spring, see your seeds grow. So it kind of just all starts with just an idea, setting up a plan, setting up a routine. But overall, there's no need to stress about it. There's no need to kind of worry about things. If you go ahead and just put yourself into a plan that really kind of resonates with your natural cycle. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of the week. Hey there, Leo. This is your personalized reading for the week. Hey, you have inner beauty, self-care, and joy. So it seems that, Leo, you're going to be really focusing on a sense of health and feeling good about yourself. It's a sense of, springtime in the air. If you're in the northern hemisphere, but a sense of seeing new things kind of like blooming around you, and wanting to really take the freshness of things and incorporate it into your diet, wanting to kind of surround yourself even with potpourri, essential oils, and this inner beauty is also, I'm seeing it as you taking more care of yourself externally, like paying attention to your skin, paying attention to the way that your, like feng shui of your room, and really wanting to, enhance your experience with your surroundings, your environment, with more feeling different sensations, wanting to touch things, feeling the texture of things, wanting to savor flavors and experiences in the way that you are kind of using your senses, hearing things, wanting to listen to music at a certain level where you are able to hear all the instruments, almost just really wanting to recognize like each individual parts of something that makes up the whole. And that's going to kind of start with you, and wanting to practice more self-care. Okay, you have here Temperance, Four of Cups, and the Hermit. So with the Four of Cups here, it's almost as if this desire to focus on yourself is because you've really been not feeling fulfilled, and almost a recognition of not feeling in general. Not that you've totally numbed yourself, but it seems you were maybe not practicing gratitude the way that you would be for this week. And it's almost like it starts small. Start wanting to kind of practice the small things of gratitude. That you wake up in the morning and your eyes are less puffy than they were when you went to bed and woke up the night before. And maybe it's because you splashed cold water in your face that morning, and your eyes were less puffy. And then just kind of being thankful for that feeling, that sensation, and kind of seeing where there's like almost your ability to connect and feel with everything small around you, even putting moisturizer on your face or putting on pajamas, wanting to take that extra time to kind of feel the materials, tying your shoes, even hearing like maybe little squeaks in your shoes and thinking, wow, it's been a while since I have pulled out another pair of shoes that I have that are in perfect quality. And just kind of just small things are it's going to start from that small kind of everyday thing where you're going to want to really expand upon that. And it's almost as if with you're going to start recognizing that you've almost kind of segmented, compartmentalized certain things in your life. Those are the shoes I wear for that occasion. It hasn't really been that occasion, so I'm not going to wear it. And you'll start seeing like you putting your things in certain compartments, labels, and kind of segmenting them in certain ways. Really, you're not even sure why that was beneficial, and why it even needs to be observed, and start kind of mixing things that really don't go well together per se. Maybe mixing red wine and fish, or perhaps just doing things that you didn't really think would go well together, and expanding your awareness of it. Like wearing sneakers with a fancy dress, or wearing a fancy dress around the house, or wearing your new gym shorts to sleep. Even though you're sleeping, you're not doing anything gym related while you sleep, but really just kind of allowing yourself to experience things that are small but make you happy, and really recognizing that labels that you put on things, not that they're mislabeled, but that there's more functions and purposes for them. And I'm using like clothes and food and as example, but it's going to even expand than that. Like perhaps maybe there's someone a friend of yours that you call when you're about to visit their town. Maybe you decide to call a friend out of the blue for no reason, but certain things that you've found yourself doing out of habit or because of certain like labels that you'd put on them, or what you kind of thought they were the purpose for, is going to kind of be broadened. And you're going to see new uses for things, new ways to kind of, not even for fashion or style, but I see it in that sense as well. Almost kind of going through your closet, and if maybe you color coordinated your closet before and didn't realize how good one shirt looked with a pair of slacks, and kind of just mixing things up and expanding the way that you interact with your own environment, and appreciate things around you. And it's going to be like your own little like project or fulfillment. It's really going to give you more insight on like bigger things in life. It might even allow you to kind of see how you've kind of thought about certain things. Like if you, let's say you wanted to read a certain type of book, but you're like, I don't like things by that author, or I don't like books that are over this many pages, or I wanted it to be an audiobook and it's a paperback book. You're going to start seeing that broadening and expansion kind of go outside, but it does just start with you. You have the Magician here. So being aware of all the tools and resources that you have at your disposal, and really being able to kind of see them blend together in a new way, and being able to almost not even have your goal in mind before you start arranging the pieces. And you have this Fool here. So definitely kind of not having certain restrictions in this process, being able to see how things come together where you don't have a preconceived notion of it, and really it is going to be like many things of delight. Like pulling something out of your closet and you haven't worn it in years, and you mix it with something that you didn't think would go well, and it's amazing. And you have the Tower here. You have a lot of major arcana cards here. The only card so far that's a minor arcana card is this Four of Cups, and that's kind of where I see all this kind of stemming from. But with this Tower, it's more as if it's a welcome tower situation, where your prior ways of structuring things really kind of limited you in your experiences, and this is really going to open up those experiences, and you're going to have to kind of really reassess how you were labeling things that you liked or didn't like, or things that you did for these particular purposes, or to have this certain effect. It's really going to be allowing you to just kind of play with things. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles here. So definitely a card of self-care, being resourceful, really kind of getting in touch with what's around you, what's in your environment, and really appreciating all aspects of those things. And kind of having a sense of ownership over them that you didn't have before. You have this High Priest, intend and create. So definitely Magician vibes with kind of creating your own playground of things that you can really find newness in and appreciate. And then you have this summer card, bask in joy and light. So really, if you have been in a period of funk, this week is really going to take you out of it. It's really going to allow you to see how you can kind of turn old, ignored, laying around junk and turn it into new and amazing. And it all starts with appreciating small things about yourself and your environment. Hey there, Sagittarius. This is the personalized part of your reading for the week. So I'm going to start off here with expression, wisdom, and determination. So really it seems that you will be kind of grasping onto a certain concept of you needing to really speak your mind and not be concerned about the backlash, the kind of the sting of it. Not necessarily that it is going to be something that does sting, that's intended to sting, but I think there may have been some hesitation on your part to convey something or to really express a certain aspect of yourself, but you'll be able to kind of get a sense of kind of a broader view of things, like the big picture of things, and recognize that what it is you want to convey in the whole scheme of things is really, it's a small aspect, but it's been weighing on you so much that it's like, why not just do it? Why not just say it? Why not just let the cards fall where they will? Like, basically, there's no like ill intent, and there should be, no negative consequences other than it might not be a widely accepted idea of things or view of things. So you have the Six of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Tower. So with this Tower here, it's as if there were ideas that you set up where you can't really say certain things or do certain things because there's this like delicate tower situation, but there is going to be a certain drive, a certain desire, and it might be kind of messy, but it's getting done. You expressing yourself, you kind of doing what needs to be done, saying what needs to be said, and this could be in work, this could be a friendship, This could be a family member, but really it's something that you have kind of had lingering, and there's something that's going to happen this week. Maybe it has to do with, you know, holidays being kind of people kind of getting together, getting prepared for, you know, Mother's Day, something along those lines, where you really aren't going to be able to contain yourself. But I would say as long as you are keeping a like the no ill will, and coming from a place of just expressing yourself and possibly even relaying a certain piece of information, that, I mean, information in of itself should be harmless. It's what, you know, people do with it and how they feel about things, and the actions that they take that, you know, make things kind of scary or dangerous. But taking that kind of approach to it will really soften the blow for whoever you think might be offended or might be shocked, or whatever the situation is. It's almost as if this tower is not for you per se. It's what you want to say really being a tower moment, a situation. It's a shock for someone else, and it's almost as if you would feel like you would feel good doing this, or in your mind when you kind of play this scenario out, you're like, yeah, I got them, I showed them. But really, there is a bigger picture, and it does fulfill that. But definitely keep in mind, you know, some type of being gentle. You have the Knight of Swords here, so definitely this determination card. Here you've got this Pele, this volcano, determination, and with the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords, it definitely seems like determined, volcanic action and communication. Really want to put the truth out there, but take a moment to get grounded first, to sense the scene and the environment. Read the room first. You got 5 of Cups. So to some degree, this expression of this thing that you want to reveal, say, have happen, comes from a place of you getting over some loss. It's connected to a loss. It's connected to a disappointment. And I think that this is you expressing whatever you want to say, reveal, share, is your way of kind of owning a new sense of you from a stronger, more healed position. You have this Judgment card here. So definitely it's as if you aren't afraid of revealing whatever it is or saying whatever it is, because you feel you've already gone through that experience of having to reflect on yourself honestly. So just you know, recognize that you might have gone through and had that experience of dealing with your loss, with dealing with your demons, and that's great. Commend you on that. But in terms of whatever it is that you want to relay, convey, reveal, like I said, just read the room. And you have Queen of Swords here. So definitely Queen of Swords is kind of the approach, the ideal approach for this, where it is you've got a balanced heart and mind with your honest communication, trying to be objective and clear about things. Just because it's objective doesn't mean it doesn't resonate with your sense of truth. But like I said, read the room, convey what you need to convey with a sense of like confidence and logic, reason, and wanting kind of there just to be like, hey, just trying to clear the air here, just trying to tell you and communicate with you about what my truth is without any type of volcanic explosion. That's what I would suggest. You have this spring, see your seeds grow. So definitely what it is that you want to convey, this idea, once you get it out there, it will spread, it'll kind of get around. So however this event is going to unfold, that information will also kind of be a story that is associated with this event. You have this arrow, surround yourself with protective energy here. So as you kind of get ready to deliver your news, to reveal what you need to reveal, to do whatever action you feel needs to take place, definitely make sure you are prepared for that yourself and get grounded before you spring into action. But it looks like you will remain in your confidence and your victorious glow this week. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of the week. We'll see you next time.